I have some excellent chatters working for me right now. I'm very lucky in that regard, and I have some who are not quite excellent, but if they continue to improve and implement the feedback that I give them on a regular basis, then they will be excellent very soon. However, I have also fired quite a few people, and for the better. Most of them I should have fired sooner. But in this video, I'm going to tell you my 5 tips how I know when it is time to fire somebody. So let me preface this by saying that I will give anybody a chance as long as they meet the minimum requirements. This goes for models, this goes for chatters, this goes for anybody who wants a shot. Depends a little bit on the role, but like I will give anybody a chance. You want it bad enough, you want a chance, fine, do this. Can you do it? Can you do it with like minimal input from me? That's the dream, right? Hey, you're a chatter, great. Here, go watch these videos and then go chat, and you're amazing. Okay, I love that. I'll give you whatever you want if that's you. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. So when you know it's time to fire somebody, when I know it's time to fire somebody, there's 5 things I look for. I don't even have to look for them. They just appear. Number 1, this is the most important one. You have to tell them the same thing over and over. Like, this is the worst. This is literally the worst. Nothing will cause you more stress in your business than telling somebody who works for you over and over to do the same thing. I remember when I was working with my ex-business partner, we had a new team of chatters that we were training. Jesus. We had a new team of chatters that we were training, and they were doing extremely poorly. And I told them, I would tell them multiple times, I'm like, back then, I was like, you need to message 50 people. So low. But I was like, you need to message 50 people a day. And I would check their accounts, and I would see that they had sent like 10 messages. And I would tell them the next day, they would turn in fucking $40 shifts. I'd be like, bro, they got paid hourly, which is why they didn't care. I was like, dude, I need you to message at least 50 people. And they're like, okay, sir, I will, sir. Sorry, sir. And then the next day, same thing. They wouldn't do it. And then the day after that, the same thing. And every day I would tear into them and I would say, motherfucker, you need to send 50 fucking messages a day to new people. It's not that hard. I could do it in 10 minutes. You, with a brain in your head and the desire and drive, can do it in 10 minutes. An hour. Tops, let's say you're fucking dumb. You have 2 fingers, 1 finger on each hand. An hour, you can do it. But the reality is that we should have not paid those people hourly, because why do they care? 50 messages, 100 messages, 5 messages. They're still getting their fucking $5 an hour. They don't give a fuck. They'll tell you to go fuck. They'll say, okay, sir, until you fire them. So if I have to tell somebody over and over the same thing, then they're going to be fired soon, right? Like I'm not interested. And this is actually, now that I think about it, this is the case with models. This is the case with general VAs. This is the case with chatters, everybody. If I have to tell you multiple times to do your reports in a certain way, I'm going to fire you. If I have to tell you multiple times to fucking do this while you chat, I'm going to fire you. And because I don't want the stress in my life. I have a model right now, and I've had to tell her multiple times to make content in a certain way. And she's too dumb. She doesn't care. I don't fucking know what the deal is, but she's not doing it. And it drives me fucking crazy. So that's the main thing that I look for. Is like, do I have to tell this motherfucker over and over to do the same thing? If yes, you're on the shit list, buddy. Like you're on the short list to go back to the job board where I found you, because I'm not interested in working with people that make me think about them. Really, I don't want to think about you. The only thing I want to think about is how much money you're making me. That's it. That's all I want to think about. I don't want to think about anything else. Number 2, the second thing I look for when it is time to fire somebody is ongoing and continued poor performance. So let's say, again, like I said, the first thing that I look for is I got to tell them over and over. If I tell them over and over to do things a certain way and their performance does not improve, then it's like, why do you work for me? Why? What? Not only do I have to like distract myself from the important thing that I'm doing, that guaranteed 100% is more important than whatever I'm telling you to do right now. I have to distract myself from that. I have to tell you to do it again. I have to become emotionally upset with how you're not listening and how I wasted all this time fucking training you and hiring you and talking to you, and you're just not doing what I asked you to do. Why? Why not? I'll tell you about my assistant. My assistant, like, I've realized what it is with my assistant. I just can't ask him to do too many things. That's really what it is. Live and learn, right? Now I think all I'm going to have him do is just Twitter. I'm not going to have him do anything else. Like Twitter and post the competition in the chatter group, and that's it. If you can do those two things, fine. You earn your $300 a month. I'm not going to I'm asking him to upload content to OnlyFans accounts and do this and do that. And like, I'll hire somebody else for that. You just do Twitter, bro. It's better use of your time anyway, probably. Because I noticed if I'm asking him to do this and do that and like do all these other things, the stuff that I ask him to do is not getting done. And so I have to say to him, hey, did you do that stuff? He's like, oh no, I couldn't. I'm like, bitch, I asked you 3 days ago. Why didn't you tell me? He's like, oh, well, I had to do this other thing. It's like, well, I need to know that, because if you're not doing it, I got to get somebody else. It's an important thing that I asked you to do. And so I don't like to tell people more than once, but that's the previous point. Continued poor performance. I guess this is really more for chatters and more for models. I mentioned, I think in this video, the one model who I've had to ask her to do reels in a certain way, fucking 50 times. She just isn't doing it right. And I don't want that. I'm not interested in like going back and forth with you, because other girls, I tell them and they do it right the first time. So like, you don't need to work for me. Maybe somebody else. So I don't want to see continued poor performance after they've been given feedback multiple times. Number 3, no desire or drive to improve. Now, you can tell somebody who wants to do a good job. You can tell somebody who wants to improve. You can tell somebody who is motivated to get better at their craft, whatever it is, because they will ask questions. They will say, what do you need me to do? What can I do? What else can I do? How else can I help if it's a model? How can I get better? How can I get another account if it's a chatter? How do I sell more? Now, it's not my job to answer their questions. Chatters, they all have managers. They go ask their fucking manager. But if you're not asking your manager how to improve and you're fucking turning in $100 days, what are you doing? Like, you understand you won't have a job for very long. Like, you understand your window of opportunity to make money with me is not infinite. I'm not patient with this, because the people that I've hired who are good were good within a week. They were crushing within a week. Like, forget about a week. Within 2 days, they're doing at least $200 consistently, reliably. And I didn't have to ride them. They did all the reports perfectly. They were selling a reasonable amount. They weren't doing $50 days or $100 days. And when I checked their chats, yeah, maybe I had to yell at them a little bit, but like, they were doing the basics. So you know what I mean? And I need to see that desire or drive to improve. What I don't want to see, this is one reason why I made these videos about another chatter who I ended up firing. He just wasn't improving. Like, he wasn't doing a good job, and he wasn't asking his manager, and he was making the same mistakes over and over. And it's like, dude, what do you think this is? Is this what you think work is? Because it's not. I don't need you. I have applications coming out of my fucking ears from people who want a job, and you're doing terrible. You're not doing what I'm asking you to do. You're not showing any desire to improve. The guys that I have now, they want to be better. They actively want to be better. They want to do a better job. They want more responsibility from me. They want more accounts. They want to manage more people. All of them, all of the ones who are good, all of the people who I hire, I screen for that. I want people who will do that. If that is not you and you have no desire to improve, well, and you're not doing a good job, and I got to tell you more than once, I'm sorry, dude, but like, it's not a good fit. You're not a good fit here. Go do something else. Number 4, how to know when it's time to fire somebody. Low output. So this can apply to anybody, mainly for chatters and models. But like, let's talk about chatters. If you're not doing numbers as a chatter, and I check your account and I check inflow and I see you messaged 40 people yesterday and you sent 150 messages, what are you doing, bro? Your time card said you worked for 12 hours. You messaged 40 people in 12 hours. So you messaged, I don't know, fucking, I can't count. 3 people an hour, 3.5 people an hour. That's what you did. 3.5 people an hour, one person every 20 minutes. That's what you did. 150 messages. So you sent under, what is that? 12, a little bit over 12 messages per hour. So one message every 5 minutes, boom, 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 type a message, wait 5 minutes, type another message. Dog, there's 350 fans on that account. What the fuck are you doing? Go message them. So if I see the low output and somebody's not improving and somebody's continuing to have low performance and I have to tell these motherfuckers over and over to do the same thing and they're not putting in the volume, bro, like what's the point of our engagement here? Like you're not going to slip under the radar. I'm not going to not see that you're not doing it. I'm watching you. I'm watching you every day. I'm checking every day to make sure you're doing your job. I know every day because I see your reports every day. And if you turn in a bad report, I'm going to check your account. I'm going to see why. I'm going to be curious why. To be fair, it's not always the chatter's fault. Maybe there's an account and the model just, her fans don't respond. Maybe. But if you're there and you're having fucking conversations and like they're replying to you and everything is happening the way that it should, and you're not selling or you're selling, with bad habits, I am going to be pissed. This job is not like do as little work as possible to sell enough so that I don't yell at you. That's not this job. You sell as much as possible so that I can pay you as much as possible and you can take on more responsibility and grow as we grow. Why do I want good chatters, right? Why do I want big brain people who chat well and want more responsibility? Because if they're good and they're smart and they can take on more responsibility, that takes work off of my shoulders so that I can grow and expand and get more models and fucking, I can do that as well. And I need good people who will do that. And if you can't handle one account that has fucking 25 subs a day and active people trying to start conversations and guys who want to buy content, then what are you like, what's going on here? Why do we need to work together? All right. Final thing, low effort on their existing output, AKA they make simple mistakes. So how do you know if somebody's not putting effort into their job? Is you see them make simple mistakes that they should not make. Now, we all get tired. I understand if you're on the computer for 12 hours, like you're not going to be as good on hour 12 as you are on hour 1. I understand. But there are some things that are just unacceptable. Like sending a message and there's a word missing from the message. You can't do that. That's a small thing. But like, I guess it comes down to the typography of the messages. Missing words, spelling mistakes, not comprehending what the sub actually said, lazily trying to price content too high so that they buy and you do numbers without fucking doing your job properly. Like, I don't like any of that stuff. I do not like any of it. And I want to see the same high level of output, the same high level of effort devoted to every part of your job at every phase of its execution. I want to see it on your reports. I want to see it on your communication with me. I want to see it on your communication with the manager. I want to see it in your chats, obviously. And I want to see it in the commitment that I expect you to have to give the sub a good experience by being the most interesting and compelling and interested person that they are talking to at any given moment. So that's how I know when it's time to fire somebody. Hopefully, if you work for me, this is a wake-up call for you. This is not towards anybody in particular, but like, assume that it goes to everybody because it does. All right. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.